Joshua, take note.
Oh my God. Thank you for reminding me.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, MNI, FMNC, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, May Mala Buni, Your Excellencies, the representatives of the governors of Adamawa, Gombe, Bauchi states, distinguished members of the National Assembly, the convener of the program, the Inspector General of Police,
Nigerians, you're most welcome to the Northeast Security Summit, reaching you live from the multipurpose hall of the Government House, Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. This auspicious occasion is organized by the Office of the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar Adamu. The Northeast Security Summit is a platform for concerned individuals and other critical stakeholders to come together and review the arising security challenges confronting the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, with a view to proffering durable solutions. This epoch-making event is coming to you live on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا سندنا شفينا حبيبنا ومرسلين. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, MNI, MNSC, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Alhaji May Malabuni, the representative of the Senate President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, other distinguished members of the National Assembly, the members of the Borno State House of Assembly and other members of the State Assembly within the Northeast Geographical Zone, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me if I am not able to mention you or carry you along in the protocol because of time factor. This morning, we are gathered here today for one all-important project, talking about protecting the Nigerian territory. The Chief Internal Security Officer of the country, the Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Mohammed Adamu MNI, and his team saw it better for us to look into this security situation holistically. And that is why this security summit is being carried out in all the 6 geopolitical zones of this country. So far, the one taking place today here in Maiduguri is the 3rd in number. Without wasting much of your time, may I have the singular honor and privilege to invite the Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Mohammed Adamu MNI, to present his address of welcome Thereafter, we will go into the program succinctly. Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulu, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Honorable May Malabuni, the representative of the other state governors here present, as the representative of Governor of Adamawa State, the representative of Governor of Bauchi State, the representative of Governor of Taraba State, and the representative of Governor of Gombe State, the representative of the Senate President, distinguished Senator Ndumi, Your Royal Highness, Alhaji Dr. Abubakar Ibn Umar Gabar Al-Amin El-Kanami, the other royal fathers here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I feel highly honored and delighted to address this rich gathering of the executive governors, rival royal fathers, and other strategic stakeholders across the states of the Northeast Geopolitical Zone at this very important security summit. This event is convened within the context of our community policing initiative and as part of the strategies of the Nigeria Police to employ an all-inclusive approach towards aiding us in the achievement of our internal security mandate. This policy methodology is essential for a number of reasons. Firstly, the increasing complexity of crime and the challenges of policing a vast and diverse country like ours make it imperative as a people-oriented approach be adopted. Secondly, public trust, consent, and partnership are the foundation upon which policing rests. Consequently, any policing architecture that alienates the citizens it was established to serve cannot optimally achieve its crime control mandate, regardless of how well equipped, motivated, or trained such a police agency could be. Hence, it is considered essential that the Nigerian police should continually engage the citizens towards seeking their inputs and soliciting their support in addressing peculiar security challenges as they affect our diverse localities. Thirdly, in order to police the nation in the most cost-effective manner, it is imperative that we draw on our historical heritage and leverage on our traditional strength as a country. Incidentally, communities in the Northeast and other parts of northern Nigeria have a unique traditional structure which enables traditional rulers to maintain an effective cultural and social control over their subjects. In this regard, therefore, part of our crime control strategies is to draw on the strong grassroots influence of traditional institutions and utilize the existing system of traditional administration in our crime-fighting management functions. This forum provides a unique opportunity to evolve pathways towards advancing these initiatives. Essentially, our broad objective in convening this summit is to sensitize the citizens and engender community participation and partnership in policing functions. This encompasses the development of citizen-driven pathways in the process of identifying, dissecting, and prioritizing security threats, and working together to evolve strategies to tackle these threats in the Northeast. This phase of the Security Summit is the third in the series that we have convened with the support of executive governors and other partners. The first was held on 1st August 2019 in Katsina for the Northwest geopolitical zones, while the second was held in Nevada, Oyo State, on the 2nd of September for the Southwest. In the two previous summits, security challenges that are peculiar to each of the zones were commonly discussed, and at the end, new strategies in addressing them were evolved. I am delighted to confirm that the strategies jointly developed at the summits in the two geopolitical zones have been effective in addressing the security threats that are peculiar to each of the zones. For instance, the Northwest Summit adopted amnesty strategy in addressing the threat of firearms proliferation, banditry, kidnapping, and armed robbery in the region. This initiative has engendered a drastic reduction in the frequency of high-profile crimes, with most of the bandits in the zone voluntarily renouncing crime and surrendering their weapons, while also releasing the several victims that were previously held in captivity. The Northeast geopolitical zone is currently faced with the threat of terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and cattle wrestling, among others. These crimes are fueled by violent extremism, high rate of firearms proliferation, border security challenges, and the security situations across the continent of Africa. In the counter-terrorism war, the Nigerian police has been an active actor. It is on record that we have been fighting the war along with the military, and indeed, several police officers have been widely commended for their courage and gallantry in the theater of war, while many others have paid the supreme price. In addition, several critical police infrastructure have been destroyed by the insurgents in their terror campaign. I am also delighted to state that the sustained efforts of the Nigerian police have not only aided in stabilizing the security space in the Northeast, it has also accounted for a downward trend in the rate of crimes in the zone. Having achieved this feat, we are moving into the next level, which has to do with the sustainability of our strategies and achievement. This entails the re-evaluation and strengthening of our strategies, the building of our critical police facilities destroyed by insurgents in the zone, with a view to redeploying personnel back to the facilities and ensuring the full restoration of civil authority and supporting the integration of internally displaced persons. As indicated earlier, our policing strategy in addressing the security threat in the Northeast is driven by the concept of community policing. In so doing, we took due cognizance of the fact that the Northeast has in place a unique framework in the civilian joint task force concept, which epitomizes the true concept of community policing. The civilian joint task force is a citizen-driven internal security model where youth, with the support of different components of the local community, volunteer to complement the state by forming themselves into vigilante and community defense bodies to defend their communities against terror attacks and sundry security threats. The strength of the civilian joint task force lies not in the sophistication of their firearms, training, or pecuniary benefit, but in their exemplary courage, passion for their communities, and advantage of full understanding of the topography of their community. They also draw strength from their knowledge of the local population, such that they can easily identify and isolate strangers and locals linked to terrorism and other crimes. Furthermore, they have the rare ability to generate quality pieces of criminal intelligence that are vital to crime management and the war on terrorism. Fighting arm in arm with the military and complementing the anti-crime functions of the local police, these non-state actors have proven to be vital assets whose names will be written in gold in the roll of honor when the counter-terrorism story of this nation will have been written. Indeed, it is the civilian joint task force spirit that we want all citizens to imbibe in our common desire for a peaceful and secure society. In relation to the building of our infrastructure, the Northeast Development Commission has been supportive of this process, having assisted in rebuilding some of our critical facilities that were destroyed by terrorists. Within our available budgetary resources, we have also been complementing the initiative of the Commission. I want to, however, sincerely appreciate the leadership of the Commission for this commendable initiative and again appeal for more support and partnership. In order to accelerate the process of restoring civil authority through the redeployment of police personnel to the Northeast, we are, with the support of our international partners, working on the concept of transitional police unit. The unit concept is designed to mobilize police personnel and deploy them across the Northeast using the United Nations peacekeeping model, which of course, after my meeting with the theater commander today, this has to be remodeled. A memorandum of understanding to this effect has been signed, and we are currently undertaking the groundwork for the takeoff of the plan. Your Excellencies, the key factor in addressing the security threats in the Northeast is that we should, as a people, be determined to build a consensus and partnership in condemning any act of criminality and resolve to work with the police and other security agencies towards identifying, isolating, and bringing the criminal elements within our communities to deserve justice. While I assure the people of the Northeast geopolitical zone of the unwavering determination of the Nigeria Police to deploy all its assets towards guaranteeing safety and security of all citizens, I shall continually solicit the input and support of all in achieving this objective. This is because it is only when we work in solidarity that we can defeat our common enemies, who are the criminal elements in our midst. On this note, I sincerely appreciate the support of the Executive Governor of Borno State, Engineer Professor Babagana Zulum, for partnering with us and hosting this summit. I also thank all the other executive governors here present for their consistent support for the police in their states. I am similarly immensely grateful to our Yoruba traditional rulers and all other strategic stakeholders here present for sacrificing to personally honor our invitation to this summit. It is my expectation that the outcome of this interaction will alter the security narratives in the Northeast geopolitical zone for good. I thank you all and pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to protect and bless you and our beloved country. Thank you very much.
That was Nigeria's Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar Adamu. There is indeed no better time to organize this summit than now, in view of the peculiar security challenges in the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria, particularly within the Northeast region. It is also an opportunity to highlight and acknowledge efforts being made by concerned individuals towards peace building and restoration of lasting peace to northeastern Nigeria, especially the ongoing counter-insurgency operations by the military as well as paramilitary organizations.
Olusegun Adeniyi, the theater commander. Equally, on the entourage of the Inspector General of Police, we have Haj Adama B. Omar, Director of Political Affairs. We have Ali Mohammed, Deputy Director, Political Affairs. And we have also Motowale M. Ghana, Director, sorry. This is a serious mistake. Just bear with me. We have in the entourage of the Inspector General of Police, DIG Abdul Majid Ali, DIG Operations. Also in the entourage, we have DIG Aminchi Baraya, DIG Research and Planning. Equally, we have AIG Bausman Al-Kali, a friend of mine and a son of the soil. And equally, we also have AIG Ibrahim Lamurde, who is the AIG Intelligence, a brother and a friend too. We have AIG Guana, AIG Zone 12 Bauchi, and all the commissioners of police of all the states in attendance. You are all warmly welcome. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, the representative of the Senate President, Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governors of Adamawa, Gombe, Taraba, Bauchi, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Borno State, the Inspector General of Police, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I have the singular honor and privilege to invite the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum MNI FNSC, to deliver his opening remark. Your Excellency.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Deputy Governors of Gombe, Bauchi, and Adamawa here present. His Royal Highness the Ishowu of Borno and other emirs here present, Inspector General of Police, distinguished senators here present, members of the National Assembly, representatives of ministers here present, the APC State Chairman of Borno State and other states, former governors, former deputy governors, members of the Borno State Executive Council here present, members of the State House of Assembly, the Speaker of Borno State House of Assembly here, retired generals and security chiefs, Borno elders, invited members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Let me first of all express our profound gratitude to the Inspector General of Police and his team for selecting Borno State to host this regional summit. This is significant because there cannot be a better choice than here to discuss issues of security and development being the epicenter of the crisis and for once the state of governance of the entire sub-region. We feel highly honored for receiving all distinguished guests, more especially His Excellency the Governor of Yobe State and the Deputy Governors of Adamawa, Taraba and Bauchi State for their attendance in spite of their busy schedule of governance. Let me also appreciate our distinguished senators, honorable members of House of Representatives and representatives of ministers and other key stakeholders who had to suspend all engagements to be here for the summit. We all share in the belief that what is of paramount importance to our state and region now is peace and security. There is no fight we cannot take, no sacrifice we cannot make just to ensure peace and stability returns to our beloved region. I welcome you all to Borno State, the home of peace. All of us here will readily recall how peaceful and glamorous was the land of Borno before the advent of the terrible insurgency. Even with dawn of peace today, the reports outside are rather too frightening and disgusting. We are happy that all of you have the courage to discountenance those false alarms and made it to Maiduguri safe and sound. The greatest concern has been that the greater proportion of those rendered homeless are women, children and the vulnerable, widows and orphans, school dropouts and unemployed youths. The socio-economic impact of the massive dislocation caused by the insurgency is felt in all our local government areas. I am in total agreement with the assertion of the RPBA report, which puts the recovery and peace-building process requires a holistic approach that promotes peace, stability, and social cohesion by addressing the rehabilitation of infrastructure and services and addresses underlying macroeconomic issues to overcome the nexus of instability, conflict, and deteriorating development. It is in this sense that we sincerely appreciate and commend the new policy thrust of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in addressing the security, humanitarian, and development crisis in the sub-region. It is crystal clear that the concerted military operations have really undermined the capacity of the insurgents over time, leading to a significant improvement of the security situation. We need to intensify the offensive onslaughts since most of their hideouts are known to all of us. The police presence in all secured communities is paramount in our clamor to establish civil authorities. There is now dynamic in tactical approaches, better synergy among security operatives, enhanced logistics support and improved complementarity support from the CGTF, and community intelligence gathering in the current fight. This is an excellent scorecard on the kinetic front. There is marked paradigm shift in our approach because of the understanding that devoid of a political solution to the crisis in the sub-region, the conflict is likely to continue. The focus is more and more on the deployment of non-kinetic measures as well. We salute the establishment of the North-East Development Commission by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There is a fundamental sustainable development initiative that gives a comprehensive framework for the post-conflict socio-economic recovery, stabilization, and development of the sub-region. Another laudable initiative is the Operation Safe Corridor Program. The idea is apt, but methodology and its institutional capacity needs to be improved to be effective. We need to open up serious dialogue with the insurgents to find amicable and lasting solutions. Let me at this juncture express my optimism that the caliber of people gathered here and with the interface, a lot of challenges will be thoroughly discussed and solutions profiled. We expect nothing less than a better roadmap to end the crisis, as well as a blueprint to rebuild the Northeast sub-region. Once again, let me welcome you all to this important summit. Most importantly, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the theater commander for the enormous contribution he has rendered alongside with his team within the last 2 months with the view to ending the insurgency. I also wish to express my sincere appreciation to the Nigerian police, the civil defense, and other paramilitary for supplementing the efforts of the Nigerian military. Indeed, they are doing very well. The civilian JTF, the hunters as well as the vigilante, they need to be commended well. However, we have to take note of the following. One, the issue of the insurgency can be reduced to the barest minimum by taking the fight to their own enclaves. That is the only solution. The whereabouts of the criminals is well known to all of us. It's well known to all our traditional rulers. It's well known to the Nigerian military. It's well known to the police, the civil defense, the DSS. And therefore, the only solution is to ensure that we should now take the fight to the corridors of the insurgents. Another most important thing that we need to understand in the sub-region is the issue of the establishment of civil authorities on ground. The presence of human population in their respective localities is very important. We have to understand that the absence of human population in locations are largely responsible for the insurgency. And therefore, under no circumstances, the governors or the government of this sixth region will allow any of our own villages to be displaced again. This is not acceptable to all of us. But we are ever ready to support the Nigerian military, to support the Nigerian police, to ensure that these criminals are dealt accordingly. Another most important thing is also the issue of the means of livelihood. We have to understand the nexus between peace, development, and security. Once there is no peace, there is no security. And once there is no security, there is no development. We have to address the underlying causes of the insurgency, which are not limited to endemic poverty, pervasive illiteracy, high unemployment rate, poor social economic infrastructure, poor infrastructure, among others. And therefore, for us to reduce the insurgency, the Nigerian military, the Nigerian paramilitary, and the government of the six regions must give access to the common man to their farmlands. The growing number of unemployment rate is largely responsible to the insurgency. And therefore, we shall do everything possible within our reach to provide the enabling environment for the small and medium-scale marketers to go about their normal businesses. And secondly, for the farmers to go to their farmlands. And therefore, we are soliciting for the support of the Nigerian military for the resumption of the economic activities along the shores of the Lake Chad. Especially in Baga. Farming is very critical. Fish farming is very critical with a view to boosting the economy of the region. On this note, we remain eternally grateful to the President as well as to the Nigerian military, to the Nigerian police for the wonderful job that you people are doing. One very essential plea that we are making now to the security agencies in the state is that we need continued support to our local vigilante, to our hunters, to our civilian jet here to complement the effort of the Nigerian military and the Nigerian police. The Northeast Development Commission is also here, the MD. We need support. The recruitment of these young guys, the civilian JTF, the vigilantes and hunters in the sub-region is very critical. Supporting the Nigerian military is also very critical, and the Nigerian police with modern technological warfare that can end the insurgency. While ending this short remark, I also wish to express my sincere appreciation to the Nigerian Air Force, especially within the last 2 months. They have been doing a wonderful job, and we must commend them. Once again, let me welcome you all to this important summit and wish you a fruitful deliberation.
Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum there reaffirming government's commitment towards achieving overall success of the Northeast Security Summit. He maintained that Borno State government will continue to provide all the necessary wherewithal in ensuring that lasting peace returns to Borno and the northern part of Nigeria as a whole.
IFNSE. 3 key words: village must remain. 2, fight must be taken to the front of those people who are disturbing everybody's peace. And number 3, the agricultural and commercial activities must resume so that we will have a peaceful living, or stopping or curtailing recruitment of young men and women who are jobless. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I have the singular honor and privilege to invite the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Alhaji Mai Malabuni, to make his own presentation. Afterwards, we will invite the representative of the Senate President, and thereafter the Deputy Governors will come one after the other to make their presentations in total. Your Excellency.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, my brother, Your Excellencies, the Governors of Bauchi, Adamawa, Gombe, ably represented by their deputies, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Borno State, the representative of the Senate President, Senator Mohamed Ali Ndume, other distinguished senators here present, the Inspector General of Police, Your Royal Highness, the Shehu of Borno, and other royal fathers here present, State Assembly speakers and legislators from across the Northeast, other distinguished dignitaries and luminaries, extremely distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is now nearly a decade since Boko Haram insurgents launched their first attack in Yobe State. Over the last 8 years, our people have borne the brunt as the insurgents attacked towns and villages, set schools, public and private buildings on fire, and caused hundreds of thousands of people to become internally displaced. These are statistics we are sadly familiar with, But Boko Haram is by no means the only security challenge we currently face as a state. As we transit to a post-insurgency era with the relative peace that our state now enjoys, there are emergent security threats that we are equally very concerned about. The rising cases of rape, kidnapping, robbery, homicide, conflict between farmers and pastoralists, and cattle rustling are challenges we have to confront seriously. The Yobe State government believes that we as people cannot make meaningful socio-economic progress while these security challenges persist. We have to confront them. Now, it is true that the army, police, civil defense, and other security agencies have done and still continue to do their utmost to tackle these security challenges. For this, they have our gratitude and our respect. They also have our unflinching moral and material support, as we have demonstrated on countless occasions, including yesterday when we provided 30 additional new Hilux vehicles for security operations. But given the unique opportunity this summit provides, it is pertinent to pause and reflect on how our collective journey has been in addressing our security challenges, and what new ideas we can test in order to fully restore peace and secure the lives and property of our people. First, we strongly believe that while the military effort to contain insurgency is necessary, we must actively explore and engage in dialogue. As records show, no conflict of this nature anywhere in the world has ever been resolved solely by military means. We therefore suggest that we should seek and use back channels to open communications and contacts that both sides could trust as credible. Such communications and contacts should necessarily lead to something meaningful. Second, we also hold the view that the military should open or reinforce a safe haven for insurgents who desire to defect from the insurgency or repent from their demonstrable evil ways. Third, we should more forcefully seek to engage the general public in the quest for lasting peace. This is something that we are already doing in Yobe State. Through deliberate public information and enlightenment campaigns, we should work to make members of the public active partners of our security agencies by getting them to pass useful information whenever they notice any suspicious persons or movements. The security agencies, on the other hand, should show a more friendly disposition to the public who come forward to pass or share information. They should regard every information reasonably provided as useful. They should chase down leads and give members of the public the confidence that their participation and contributions are factored and appreciated. Security is an all-hands-on-deck affair. Our states in the Northeast and our country as a whole will be a lot better when security agencies and the general public work together and remain on the same page against any individuals or groups who threaten our collective security. Finally, let me reiterate that the Yobe State government will continue to support, collaborate, and partner with our security agencies and with the federal government to ensure that peace is fully restored in the state and across the Northeast region. Thank you. Ma'asalam.
That was a remark by Governor Maimala Buni of Yobe State. He emphasized the need to continue to explore critical avenues towards restoring complete normalcy in crisis-affected states across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
That has been His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, May Malabuni, with the position of Yobe State and contributions towards creating a greater security fortified Northeast sub-region. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with your kind permission to stand on the already established protocols, may I have the singular honor and privilege to invite the representative of the Senate President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Muhammad Adamu Ndume, to come and make his presentation.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, MNI. This MNI is important to all MNI. If you don't say MNI, it becomes an offense. Your Excellency, the Governor of Yobe State, our Inspector General of Police, Your Excellencies, the representative of the 6 governors here present, my distinguished colleagues from the National and State Assembly, led by the Speaker of various Houses of Assembly here present, Your Excellency and Your Royal Highnesses, our Emirs, led by His Excellency, His Royal Highness, the Sheikh of Borno, members of the Executive Council here present, members of the various armed forces of Nigeria and security agencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me crave your indulgence to respect the existing protocol. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Alhamdulillah. It is always better late than never. I want to commend the IG of police and our own, because as you know, or maybe some of you don't know, he's from Nasarawa State. And Nasarawa, you know, is an annex of Borno State. So it's our own too. And also commend our Executive Governor for his commitment, concern, resilience, and dedication to addressing this issue of insecurity. Right from the time he was the Commissioner for RRR, all of us from Borno State especially know his commitment and sacrifice that he put in for the reconstruction. Unfortunately, the reconstruction cannot work without peace. And Alhamdulillah, today, under the initiative of the Inspector General of Police, we are here gathered to do the right thing. In fact, this is the first thing that is supposed to be done. Call the people, because we all know that we are at war, but it's not a conventional war. And therefore, the only applying only the conventional way cannot solve the problem. We have to do what the Inspector General of Police have now initiated, to sit down and look at the problems critically. I'm glad, on behalf of the National Assembly and particularly the Senate President, who happens to be absent for unavoidable circumstances, and therefore he delegated all the members of the National Assembly from Borno State particularly to leave what we are doing there, because you know that we are considering the budget which we promised to delivered to Mr. President for accent before the end of the year. The only people that we left are 2 members or 3. We left his former governor, His Excellency Kashim, to represent us there in the critical budget process defense that is starting today. And we also left 2 members of the House of Representatives behind to take care of the wing of the House of Rep, particularly Honorable Betara, who happens to be the chairman of appropriation in the House of Rep. Therefore, the absence of the Senate President here is not deliberate but unavoidable. And he now delegated us with the responsibility to make this remark that I'm making on behalf of himself, who happens, as you all know, to be our own from Yobe State, and also affected by this serious problem or challenge that we are facing. Having said that, let me say that the National Assembly, particularly those of us from Borno State, are deeply committed, are only concerned, not only concerned, but are actively involved. As you can see, His Excellency said, when we resumed in 2015, immediately, we gathered ourselves under my leadership then to sponsor a bill for the enactment of Northeast Development Commission. Alhamdulillah, the president, who is equally concerned, immediately assented to the bill, leading to its creation. And not only that, Mr. President, in his magnanimity, released or ordered the release of 10 billion naira as a takeoff grant for the Northeast Development Commission. And as I understand, so far, 25 billion naira have also been released, making a total of 35 billion in the coffers of the Northeast Development Commission. The managing director of the Northeast Development Commission is here, and let me say, as I have said at the committee level, that you have to use this money before the end of December, because the budget period is lapsing by December, and unless a special arrangement is made, all monies not spent by the end of December will be returned. And now with the TSA, it's just by pressing a computer button and the money will not be there. So I'm calling on you to cooperate, liaise, and synergize with the executive governor of Borno State to address those immediate challenges, humanitarian crises that we are facing, especially in terms of feeding and relocating our people that are willing to go back, creating temporary or permanent structures for them, and then providing them other financial support that will enable them to pick up their lives. The Senate and the National Assembly, as I said, are deeply committed. In the 8th Senate, under the leadership of the now Senate President, who was then the Senate leader, conducted a security summit under his chairmanship. I will urge the Inspector General of Police, who is responsible, the convener of this summit, to get the document that is prepared by the Senate that you can use as input. Distinguished, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, we are all here for what is very, very important and critical. Most of us here from the Northeast, particularly those of us from Borno, are internally displaced persons. Even our traditional rulers, some of them are still internally displaced persons. Myself and my colleagues standing here that are attending this meeting are not only displaced people, persons, but we are also displaced politicians. This problem has been lingering for 10 years. You can imagine somebody that was born in 2009 is now 10 years old. And that person, or many of them, don't know their parents, have not gone to school, they don't know what is love, they don't know what is care, they don't know what is association. You can imagine what they will be in the future or in the next 10 years if we don't nip this problem by the bud. The Inspector General have initiated this laudable summit that I'm sure will come up with something. But I beg you in the name of God that it should not stop here. The communique that will come out at the end of it should be followed up. You cannot, as His Excellency said, that you cannot address this security challenge only by means of the conventional war that the army is undertaking. The Nigerian army are doing very well and other security organizations, but that is not enough because we have not seen the end of it. And let me say here that you cannot fight a war with this magnitude and the vast land that we have with only 150,000 soldiers. Right now, the population of the Nigerian army is just 150,000 plus the 4,000 recently released. That makes it 154,000 and 6,000 officers or thereabout. You cannot fight this war with having less than 400,000 police, which you know, IG, I think you have only 370,000 policemen on record that we know. That is not enough to police a community or a population of nearly 200 million. And you cannot also police with what is budgeted in this year's budget to the Nigerian police. The Constitution is very clear, and we have drafted the Constitution, that security and welfare of citizens is the main purpose of government. If that is the case, as indicated in our Constitution, how come the budget of today is carrying a meager sum for the police and a meager sum of 100 billion to fight the insurgency? We know we cannot do it. And Borno State is handicapped because the whole budget of Borno State this year is not up to 200 billion, I'm sure. No matter your commitment, no matter your resilience, no matter your determination, without money, without equipment, without the personnel, we are not going anywhere. If not, we know that the key location of the remaining insurgents is three: the Lake Chad fringes, the Mandara Mountain, and the Sambisa. With today's technology, the theater commander said last time when we came on the oversight that if they have what they want, it will take them less than 3 months to finish this war. Then why don't you give them what they want? The National Assembly is there. You cannot ask this National Assembly to say, give them this money, because we are handicapped. Why we are handicapped? Budget has been presented. We cannot tinker, or there is a limit to which we can tinker with the budget. But this gathering, at the end of the communique, should include that context. It's very important that they should budget money. In fact, Nigerians will be willing to say, let the government spend the whole budget as long as we have peace. Because without peace, all these things that they are talking about is useless. It cannot work. So we are calling on this gathering of eminent personalities to come out with a strong and united voice to tell those that are supposed to do the needful to do the right thing. And I am sure once a communique strongly comes out from this gathering, the President and the National Assembly, which I can assure you on behalf of our colleagues, will do what is necessary for us to have peace. I, again, want to commend those that organized, particularly the Inspector General of Police and other elders that came from far yesterday as they trooped into Borno for this important summit. And as you can see, that we are taking this very seriously. That's why this hall, for the first time in the various gatherings that we are holding, it has never been that populated with people right outside there and those that, if given the opportunity, will come and participate. We wish you the best, and we will stay back to contribute our own. And I want to say that the National Assembly, I assure you again, will do anything that you want us within the ambit of law to make sure that this issue of insurgency or peace is returned, and we will have Borno as home of peace as it is known. Thank you very much. May Allah take you.
Senator representing Southern Borno Senatorial Zone, Senator Muhammad Alin Dume, speaking on behalf of members of the National Assembly from Borno State. He had indeed underscored the pivotal role the lawmakers have played in fighting insurgency over the years, as well as facilitating the reconstruction of destroyed communities, in addition to resettling victims of insurgency. He also stressed the need to make the issue of security the #1 priority of government, especially in terms of channeling more resources to that sector.
Machine, that's all. And the other thing that he said is not a conventional war. Old schools, they call it guerrilla. In other realms, they call it hit and run. And of course, in modern terms, it is called asymmetric. But this one entails the involvement of the general public, because you cannot fight an asymmetric war without due diligence in terms of intelligence. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly invite the representative of Governor of Adamawa State for his remark. Thereafter, the Deputy Governors of Bauchi, Gombe, and that of Taraba, who is being represented by the Commissioner of Home Affairs and Special Duties, will take their cue.
Thank you.
All protocols duly and diligently observed. It gives me much delight and pleasure to address you today on behalf of the Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Ahmad Umar Fintiri, and the good people to whom we govern. It is true that security is everybody's business. And the issue pertaining to security must be handled very seriously. This is why any forum or arrangement that seeks to address security challenges must be embraced and handled in the most appropriate manner. I must foremost commend the Nigerian police for setting up this meeting where all of us converge here in Maiduguri to brainstorm on the security issues affecting our country. As a whole, it is my belief that after this meeting, we can successfully profile solutions to the challenges that have been biting hard on our country. On our part, as government of Adamawa State, under the leadership of Governor Ahmad Umar Fintiri, we inherited a fragile state with serious life-threatening security challenges. We came into the government of Adamawa State and realized that we are confronted with farmers' headers clashes, kidnapping, forgery, armed robbery, and a general sense of insanity by the citizenry. We set out to ensure that we revive the confidence of the people by tackling the challenges head on. Our governor took cognizance of overpopulation caused by the internal displaced people who have left their homes by virtue of crises that have continued to linger. I wanted to state clearly that as a government also noted poverty has grossly contributed to the fueling of many issues of insecurity in our country. Our government has already started poverty eradication programs that aims to engage our idle youths so as to make them self-reliant. The internally displaced people who have integrated into society are already being rehabilitated, and construction of their destroyed homes is largely underway. Right now, I make bold to say that we have an improved level of security situation in Adamawa State, but we are not resting on our parts, which is why our governor has already declared a zero tolerance for nefarious activities. I have also engaged, and we have also engaged our traditional rulers and community leaders into positive collaboration that will expose all criminals that are hiding within the society. This meeting is timely because it will provide us the opportunity to identify gray areas that hampering our growth in terms of security matters. I have firm belief that such forum will always propel us on the right path where we will have a society free of criminal activities for the betterment of our tomorrow. Once more, I say thank you to the organizers of this meeting. Thank you, and may God bless us all. Thank you.
His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Adamawa State, who made the presentation on behalf of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State. May we now call on His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Bauchi State, for the remark of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bauchi State.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I must confess that before I came into the hall, I didn't know that I was going to make a remark, and I have to put up something. So bear with me if it's not up to the standard that you require. The Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Umar Zulum, Executive Governor of Yobe State, Honorable Mai Malabuni, all other protocols duly observed. It gives me great pleasure to address this gathering organized by the Inspector General of Police. And indeed, he mentioned that it's the third in the series of lectures or conferences that has been held in this country, one in the northwest, in the southeast, and then the northeast. To my mind, the Northeast would have been the first one because that's where insurgency and insecurity has bedeviled us. Whatever the case, I think the conference is timely, and I commend him for organizing this conference at this time. Anywhere you are traveling in this country, because most of us travel a lot, once you mention Maiduguri, Northeast, Bauchi, Gombe, Adamawa, Taraba, people hardly, said they will come. They won't come because of the challenges that are in that place, especially in terms of even traveling. Yesterday, when we traveled from Bauchi to Maiduguri, a journey that would have taken us maybe about 4.5 hours, we did about 5.5 hours. Even with that, we are having a convoy. So you can see, and I have seen the physical trauma people are going through traveling on this road. And that is because of the level of insurgency that has bedeviled the Northeast region. Specifically in Bauchi State, 10 years ago, when the Boko Haram issue started, a few attacks took place here and there in Bauchi. But by the special grace of God, they were contained one way or the other, and the attacks subsided in Bauchi. We thank God for that. But that is not to say that we don't have challenges. As a result of the Boko Haram attack, the challenges of IDPs in the state, because being neighbors to Borno, to Yobe, the frontline states, we have a lot of influx of people into Bauchi State. Then we have to cater for them. We have to cater for them educationally, health-wise, with the mega resources that we have. And that has taken quite a toll on us. Besides that, the other challenges that we have in the state, security-wise, banditry, kidnappings, armed robbery. There are some spots that we have identified in the state that are armed robbery spots, and it's not even good to go there. But with the cooperation of the police that we have there, the DSS, and the other armed services, the Army, the Air Force, the Civil Defense, we have, in fact, recently incorporated even the Federal Road Safety Corps. We have incorporated, as part of the Security Council, even the immigration services, because they have a role to play. The traditional rulers, we have been able to do a lot in stemming security situations, security issues in the state. But that is not to say that we don't have challenges. We have so much.
Let me start that we are the first set of the University of Maiduguri, 1979. So for me to be here, I think I'm home. I thank you sincerely. On behalf of my governor, the governor of Gombe State, and other people of Gombe State, we want to sincerely sympathize with you over the recent fire incident at the telecommunications market. We know there have been other bad happenings, but that is the recent one, and please accept our sympathy. And we pray to Allah that that will be the end of it. The governor would have been here, but we are just about to swear in our commissioners, and we thought we should talk to them just as the IG thought he should talk to us. We want to talk to our commissioners to tell them what we expect from them before we swear them in on Thursday. So he is doing that assignment with the Secretary to the federal government, who has agreed to be with us, and some other dignitaries. So please bear that he is not here. Yes, Gombe State is in the center of our dear Northeast geopolitical zone. We are bordering all the 5 states that comprise the Northeast geopolitical zone. And obviously, being neighbors, we have our own share of deviant acts that are not acceptable to the society, but that they are already with us. Based on that, we have a few cases of armed robbery. My police commissioner is here, he can testify that. We have kidnappers of recent, not too much, drug abuse, the farmer-herders clash, and we are convinced that if something is not done, it would escalate. Because what we are experiencing today started somewhere, and it was not nipped in the bud. Somewhere, somehow, lapses happen here and there, negligence happen here and there, and therefore we have found ourselves where we are. It is because of that that the Gombe State government has not taken any crime too light. We had one person kidnapped and the whole of the state was involved. The police, all law enforcement agents, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and everybody was involved. Because we are sure that if we allow it to become a trend, then we will be a sorry state. We have taken measures such as I've said, to liaise with the traditional rulers, to liaise with the religious leaders, even scholars, they are not left out. Let them bring the theory. We will from the theory distill what can help us. So we invited them. And I think it has helped us to an extent. We are also seeing so many in Gombe. We used to say Sekai. There are boys that since I was born, they were saying Sekai, 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 Sekai. That's what they tell politicians. Say. We have now told them it is time for you to have your own heart. So because of that, we are creating skill acquisition centers so that instead of shouting to the politicians, Sekai, Suma Sujesi, I can handle to Sama Benchi. That is what we are doing in Gombe State. And we are keying into other key programs of the federal government that are meant to reduce poverty and ensure that deviancy is reduced to the barest minimum. We have tried to assist law enforcement agents where we can. We have small resources because we were not fortunate. I think we met. Our plane landed in a reverse gear, and he applied the reverse gear too much that we are in calamity. But all the same, we are likely to come back from that reverse gear. My commissioner of police here can confirm that himself and myself are members of the committee to repair the vehicles of the police. We didn't have money to buy new ones, but we have set up a committee to repair the number of vehicles that the police have so that it can assist them, because we know that security without logistics is like a dream. So we are trying to fight that. We have tried as much as possible to help other law enforcement agents. Like we have surrendered our NYC camp in Malan City to the army for the repentant deviants. And it has been so for over 5 years now. I think the army can confirm that. We have relocated, we have left the army camp for them so that they can have a place to rehabilitate. If we are asking them to repent, obviously we need a place to rehabilitate them, and we have surrendered our NYC camp. The state has its own challenges, but like we said, there is no organization anywhere on earth that has no challenges. It's the ability to overcome challenges that determines whether a leader is effective or not. And that is what we are trying to overcome. While I stand strongly and support by the presentation of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Yobe State, and other previous speakers, I have just one call. We always blame the politicians, no political will, no political will. Let us develop political, individual will that will help the goodwill that people have for us so that the government can have very strong political will. If the political class is having a political will and you, the individual, you don't have a political will, my brother, that political cannot go somewhere. If we as individuals develop a will that we will stop this thing, they are our children. They are not foreigners. Even if they are foreigners, they may be negligible. Statistically, they may not be significant. So let us, first of all here as parents, let's take the message back home that we need to develop individual will that will support law enforcement agents, that will support governors in their will. Equally, let me also appeal to all actors, stakeholders, in the fight against insurgents and other deviant acts, that we should please stop underrating each other. We must see ourselves are children of the government, are children of the society that are out to complement and not to compete with each other. It is disgusting when I hear law enforcement agents, Nigerian Customs Service, well, anyway, at any rate, I left the Customs as a duty controller general of Customs, so I know much. The Customs, the Army, when I ask you, what is your name? It's Nigerian Customs, Nigerian Police, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Police, and yet we are fighting ourselves. What are we fighting? We are of the same parents. Sometimes we waste too much time in trying to compete with each other and the criminals escape. I have witnessed that. So please, let us complement and not compete with each other. Finally, I beg everybody here to support the strong will that I saw and I heard of the Inspector General, of Mr. President, who has seen to it that we solve some problems. The governors of the two states, they have the political will. Please let us contribute our own individual way so that we can succeed. I was in Malaysia one time and they said, if you want peace, enrich your neighbor. Otherwise, the cries of his house, that's those that make Agida. Thank you.
If you are rich, you reach your neighbor so that the fly from his house does not fly into your house. One other thing that he mentioned is that we should also try as much as possible to see ourselves as one and avoid inter-service rivalry. That's all. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Yobe State has a very big program in Damaturu. He's been awaited, but because of the brothership, good neighborliness, he has to be personally here while he kept his people waiting back. We thank you so much for having time to be with us throughout that elegant presentations that has taken place in this multi-purpose hall. We wish you and your entire entourage safe journey back to Damaturu. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, while we await His Excellency, who is now seeing off his colleague, invite the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Taraba State, for his common presentation. While he comes up, we must also recognize the presence of the representative of the Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Mohamed Tahir Munguro, who is the Chief Whip of the National Assembly House of Reps.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Sir, really we don't know that we shall present or shall make a comment in this gathering. But for the sake of that, I have one or two things or comments to make on behalf of my state governor. First of all, let me apologize because the governor is... I'm not commissioner. I'm a permanent secretary Home Affairs and Special Services. Thank you. With profound gratitude to appreciate the Inspector General of Police for organizing this summit. And we believe in this zone we know what has been happening in this zone. We know we have problems, especially in Taraba State, we have problem of banditry, armed robbery, kidnapping, farmer herders crisis, communal crisis. But with the help or cooperation of the governor and the security agencies in that state, things are now piling down. Because if you see the way, if they ask you to go to Taraba, you will not even agree to go there. But to be candid, I appreciate the way the security men are working there. They normally work in Senate, especially their chairman, commissioner of police, army, and other sister agencies. You know, we also employed the hunters and vigilantes to assist them, and they have been working, especially last 3 weeks. Those that came from Zamfara and Katsina, these criminals, because they went on operation and definitely they just ran away. We also, the state government has been assisting the security with logistics, especially vehicles and others. The governor has been helping them, the entire displaced people, with some logistics and other things that they need, especially now. They are really working, the governor is working, taking them back to their various homes. Even Commissioner of Police is here, can testify, especially in local government and other local governments. Again, the governor has, built a mini post in between Taraba and Adamawa. That is Moko. We have mini post where we have army, police, and civil defense. They have already been deployed there, and they are really working. Our governor is also, especially there are some refugees that came from Cameroon. This Amazonia crisis between the government of Cameroon. They are now in Taraba, thousands of them, especially in Takum, Sardona, Kurumi, Usam, and our governor is providing them with the needs, food, and even health system. Presently, as I'm talking, we have the committee that governor set up, especially about the communal crisis between Benue and Taraba, and they are working hand in the thief and Juku people are working hand in hand to make sure that there is a peace. And as I'm talking, the peace has been restored gradually, and by the grace of God, you will ask, and the Commissioner of Police will tell you that the normalcy has been there now. You see, we also, these Amazonia refugees, the Taraba State and the government of Cameroon, they are working in synergy to make sure that they have a joint patrol team and joint patrolling between Cameroonian and our bordering area there with Taraba State. The security patrol team, so that if there's any challenge from that state, if they're running to in our side, the security here will pursue them. Likewise, the oversight. So the government of our state is working hand in hand with the Cameroonian government. The government is appreciating the Northeast Development Commission, but for this forum, we are appealing to the Commission to consider Taraba in any of the activities, because we are lagging behind. To be candid, we are not feeling your impact. Taraba State. As I earlier said, I don't know that I will present or I will make any comment. For the little I have, I believe you will understand it, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Deputy Governors of Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe and Taraba states there, underscoring the magnitude of insurgency and other criminal activities that have bedeviled the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, thereby portraying states in the zone in bad light. They did not mince words in reiterating the need for concerned individuals and every well-meaning Nigerian to do everything humanly possible in restoring the lost glory of the zone.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the session wherein the presence of the press is being accommodated. Right now we are going into the technical session, of which we will grab the intelligence of the members of the press to wait outside, and we will be inviting them later at the end of the program for the taking of the communique. Meanwhile, the first presentation, which is going to be done up here, seated, will be led by the Nigerian military, which is going to be led by the theater commander, Major General Olusegun Adeniyi and his team. General Sir. And it is going to be moderated by no other person than retired General Saleh Maina. And this panel so constituted will be making that presentation within the limit of 15 minutes time, or as will be permitted by the level and content of the presentation. And the finals that we are going to be taking one after the other, we will also, after the military, take discussions from the commissioners of police of Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe and Taraba states. Likewise, the DSS and the paramilitary. They will take it from our royal fathers, chairman of the Traditional Council of the 6 states will be leading, and afterwards we finally boil down to representatives of displaced persons, civil societies, religious groups from each of the states, and subsequently academics and professional bodies from each state. And I'm 100% sure they are going to do justice to this program. And at the end of the day, most of the key things which is going to be discussed here will form or constitute the content of the communique. Because it is here we are going to listen to people in the field, and at the same time those who are affected and those who also in the know and those who are watching from outside, but they need to make their own input. Here we have also with us the Managing Director of the Northeast Development Commission, Alhaji Mohamed Goni Al-Khali. We have Barrister M.T. Mongono, Member, Federal House of Representatives and Chief Whip, who is also representing the Speaker House of Representatives. He is also going to be one of our moderators. We will equally invite Senator Mohamed Ali Ndume. He is also going to head one of the panels, and afterwards we will close the program proper. But all we need to do is that we need to finish up this occasion by 2 o'clock, as some of the invited guests will be going back to their respective destination. We must also recognize the most esteemed and distinguished presence of members of the Borno elders. Among them, we also have prominent senior retired police officers. We have DIGs. We have DIGs Abdullahi Shetima. We have Mukhtar Al-Khali. They are all here to support this program.
Time now to go into a closed-door session, which is expected to be insightful, after which a communique will be issued. We have, however, come to the end of the program, which was transmitted to you live from the multipurpose hall of the Government House in Maiduguri. Let's now join our outside broadcast crew in Abuja for the second Nigerian Medical Association Summit.
Up here, there will be no TV coverage, but right now the program is live on NTA, watched all over the world. At the end of the panel, we will come back, invite everyone to take the communique personally, finally. So meanwhile, everything that has to do with press will come to your hall for now. And after the presentation of the panelists, then we will re-invite them to come and, be with us for closing ceremony. Thank you.
Let them come up. Let them come. General.